Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Pumbloom!
Oh, remember that time when Ash caught a Pumbloom? No!
Oh.
As anyone listening just gets scared shitless that I just yelled right into my microphone.
Yeah, but you yell at me all the time, so it's normal to them now.
Oh, well, yeah. That's very true. I'm just glad I fixed my graphics card.
For now.
No, I played Guild Wars extensively for the past 2 days. Nothing happened.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I've already tested it. I'm very pleased. This guy even played Guild Wars 2 a little bit. Let him create a guy, run around, do his thing.
You guys are on air?
Yeah, we're on air.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You didn't shut the door!
You're the pizza cutter leader.
God.
There you go.
The studio cannot be open.
Studio need nuts.
Oh.
Follow him.
Alright, tonight on Digital Reload, we got plenty of news. 2 reviews. Hands-on for Guild Wars
minute.
2.
What's the other review?
Last story.
No, what's the other one?
Persona 4 Arena.
Oh, wait, what's the other one?
What?
I got nothing.
He's confusing you.
And we're talking Borderlands 2. State of Confusion, all next on Digital Reload. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our show. DigitalDailyFix.com. Digital Reload brought to you by Spreaker.com. Like I said, tonight, plenty of news, a bunch of other stuff. It's actually an overloaded show for once.
For once.
So much shit, I don't know. Last week we actually did have to cut something as well.
Yeah.
So, but hey, I'll make up for it for anyone wanting to... Anyone upset that we didn't talk Guild Wars last week, I'll definitely be able to talk it today, because, you know,
You actually got to play it.
I actually got to play it. I actually got first character up to level 10. It won't be a review, it'll just be, you know, hands-on impressions of the full-on game to let you know how everything works.
I got to level 3.
He did get to level 3. And the thief looks pretty badass.
Well, his armor doesn't, but...
Well, no, the starting armor doesn't, but I'm sure...
Oh, especially not after the colors I selected.
Yeah, I'm sure once you get it properly spec'd, it'll look alright.
It'll evolve into a ninja.
Though I do like that your character maintained the trend of, like, whenever you get better stuff, it always looks shittier than your previous stuff.
Which is shocking, because my stuff looks like crap, because of my color selection.
Yes.
You need a fantastic color selection.
Yes, like the main color of the coat is green, with some purple, and then, like, the undershirt is pink. My pants are mainly pink, I believe.
Yeah.
And my boots are purple.
But you got one knee pad that you made green.
One knee pad is green.
See? Best color selection ever.
It was awesome.
And he's got, like, the handlebar mustache.
With long hair.
Well,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
The character customization is pretty awesome in this game.
I didn't bother changing the color. His hair is black. He's great.
Yeah. So it's actually pretty cool. But we can all get into that a little bit later. But before I could even play Guild Wars 2, I had to fix a little problem known as my goddamn graphics card. Because
Follow him.
I don't know if I've talked about it on this show before, but I had about a year and a half ago bought an NVIDIA GeForce 9800 GT, and this was after I had bought a new Asus desktop, and I put a new graphics card in it, because that's pretty much all it really needed to play various things, to play WoW, to play Star Wars The Old Republic, now to play Guild Wars 2 and Diablo 3, and just right off the bat I had issues with the damn thing, crashing anytime I did an instance in WoW, like a heavy instance. I would randomly get kicked off if the screen got too busy. Star Wars would overheat on occasion, and just various other things. So then I looked into it and saw that the graphics card required a better power supply than what I currently had, so I upgraded the power supply. I started off with a 250 watt power supply, upgraded it to a 600 watt power supply. Thing still crashed after a while. So then I thought maybe the case everything was built in wasn't getting good airflow. It was a small case. Whenever I'd take off the side and use a fan to cool everything worked. So then I upgraded the case, and I got a case with 2 intakes, 2 exhausts, an Antec case. Came highly recommended. That worked for a little while. Then it would start crashing about 45 minutes into Diablo 3. Right at the point where I would actually start to get sucked into what I was doing. Then I messed with the settings of the fans, because all these fans have various settings that I can do for speed and everything, and tried messing around with that, and that still didn't help. So it finally reached a breaking point where I replaced it with a Radeon HD 6770, which has jumped my graphics card rating on Windows from a 6.8 to a 7.4. So, and since then I've had no issues with Guild Wars, and Guild Wars has been pretty fun. So, what have you gentlemen been playing?
Let's see. Last week I was actually able to finish up Last Story.
Get a job, you bum.
Can I finish now?
I guess.
All right. Then I played some online Transformers, but that was about it. And that's pretty much sums up my week. Then I came down with something and said, nah, I'm not doing shit.
Fair enough.
Man, that wasn't very exciting. So I've been playing some Persona 4 Arena, some Persona 4 for the PS2. I just started Resident Evil Revelations, and I'm borrowing that from Howard. And I've played a little bit of FF11. Mainly when I play Persona 4 now, I'm just doing online and trying to whack at that some more.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. All right,
Well,
well,
take another quack at it.
Whack.
well, before we get into news, I actually figured I can open up with the Guild Wars 2 impressions and go through that real quick.
It stinks. Don't buy it.
Kind of mix everything up. I completely disagree.
Except for the handlebar mustache. That I don't know. Yeah, you should buy it just for that.
Yeah. I'm actually really impressed with a lot of the things the game does. Like I said, it's not a full on review. I don't think I've done enough to really review anything, but I can give like just my impressions of the first 10 levels at least. The game actually installed rather quickly. I think it did help a little bit that I had the client back from the beta, because I actually used that instead of installing the 2 discs. So I think if you create a user ID for ArenaNet, it will allow you to download the client for Guild Wars 2, but you can't do anything because you don't have a product key. Yes, I think it is. So, anyway, going into the game after updating, the first thing, I'll just go through the whole process. The first thing you do, obviously, is you select your race. You have human, you have Norn. Trying to remember all the races. You know what? Let me just pull it up here, because I remember humans and Norns, and yeah, the Asuras, which are like little imp things that look like they look.
And then like Elysian or something. I think.
Close the door. I did. No, you didn't. You just pushed it away from you with your hair.
With your butt.
Eat those Doritos.
I don't want to.
Not all of them. Just some of them.
Crumble them on a pizza, maybe I'll eat them.
No, well, he's making a pizza.
Working on that.
He is making a pizza. So, why is Google not loading? Thank you, Google. Why did I have to type Google twice just to get it to load?
That way you know it's working.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. Give me that one. That's what I want. All right. So, can't believe I don't even remember it already. And are you gonna give me no?
Anyway,
no.
there are multiple races.
There are multiple races. There's 5. There's like I said, there's the Norn, the Norn, the humans, the Asuras. There's like a elf race,
Like
and
Elysians or something, or maybe yeah, but they're like elf human, mini creature thing. another human-like thing, which
Mini
are Viking,
creature.
more or less.
Mini creature thing.
And then you have your big beastly thing.
Yeah. Take that. There we go. Asura, Sylvari, Human, Norn, and Char. The Char are kind of like Liger monsters. Big,
Jushin Thunder.
big horned cat-like creatures that stand on their hind legs when walking, but it will actually run on all fours when you run around in the game.
Makes sense.
Which was kind of cool. After that, you get your choice of classes, which are Engineer, Necromancer, Thief, Elementalist, Warrior, Ranger, Mesmer, or Guardian. And a Guardian is kind of a form of a Paladin. Engineer is more of like the long range. They use a lot of guns and rifles. Necromancer obviously summons the dead, have undead pets. Thieves are more like the kind of like the assassin class from the original Guild Wars. Elementalists are the main mage class. Rangers are obviously the long range. I don't remember if they have pets or not. And then the Mesmer is another magic class that uses a different style of magic. They wield deception
This
and
is
use
the important part.
and use illusions and clones and various things to distract enemies.
I was thinking about making that class until I made the thief.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got the game?
No, he made
Oh,
one on mine.
okay.
Yeah, he made one on mine. But once
Taking
you...
offhand guns?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make this class now.
And so I mean they got...
Mesmer was pretty good in the last game.
Yeah. And I thought the other interesting part is they also have aquatic weapons. Like they have weapons they can only use when underwater. Like the Engineer, like I picked an Engineer. Engineer uses spear guns underwater, which I thought was kind of
That's
interesting.
kinda cool.
Yeah. So I'm very curious to see their various wider range of weaponry. Like main hand, they'll use pistols on main hand and offhand, and then they'll have rifles to use as two-handed weapons, which I need to mess around with. I don't have an appropriate rifle yet. But anyway, when you create your character, you then are able to assign them various they ask you various questions that will help assign various things to your character and your character's background story, because your character will actually have a story going through.
I got to pick what god I worship.
Yeah, as humans, you pick what god you worship.
What about Brett? Did you choose Brett?
Unfortunately, I was not able to select myself, which was rather disappointing. Guild Wars 2.
Yeah,
Updated.
Automatically 5 out of 10.
the Norn worship animal spirits, so you choose whether you want to worship the raven, the snow leopard, the bear, or the raven.
Or just a random leopard.
No, there's only
The
the snow.
Raven
You
looks
can...
like Ray Lewis. The Leopard looks like a MILF. Well, like leopard print.
Well,
What was the other one? The bear?
yeah.
Don't get me started on the bear.
It's Russian.
Oh no, obviously it's a big burly man with a beard.
Yeah. Wearing chaps.
Yes. Assless
Oh, so
chaps.
it's not the animal; it's the gay representation.
Yeah, for all those great gay porns with bears. Haven't seen them, but I'm sure they're great.
Well, that's what bearded gay men are called. They're called bears.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know.
Thanks to Kevin Smith for informing me of that. But once you go through the cycle of questions, you'll then customize your character. Everybody has starting armor that they wear, and you can customize not the look of it, but the color.
Pink.
There are various little cosmetic things you can do in the questioning. Like with the thief, you can, by choosing things, you can either have him like wearing a hood, or wearing a hood and a mask, or just wearing a bandana. The engineer can wear like a monocle, or goggles, or a backpack. Those are the things for him. And then once you choose your background story, once you choose the colors, customize the character, and lots of options for customizing the hair, customizing the look of the face, customizing the beard. So there's plenty of options on how to do that and everything. So
Keep that mini screwdriver.
once you get that, it'll then take you through a brief history of what is going on with the race, and then it opens up. Like, so for my engineer who is a Norn, it opens up and it goes straight into the Great Hunt and everything. But without going into all the detail on that, the gameplay is actually very interesting. It breaks a lot of the molds of a conventional MMORPG. I mean, every now and then you will have guys with some sort of icon above their head to progress some sort of quest, but that's not what you're going out and actually looking for in the game. You'll have a main quest that progresses your hero's story, and then in between that, you'll come across these events that are scattered throughout the world that end up going on. That as you participate in them, you'll earn medals, which then earn you a set amount of experience, karma points, and money. And they're constantly going on over and over again. They're almost like instances or a dungeon in WoW, but you're not going into a loaded area. It's just, bam, it starts happening. Like, you'll be running through the map, and then all of a sudden...
I fought a giant worm creature.
Yeah. Like, you'll be running across the map, and all of a sudden, above your character, it will swipe across and say, new event, or, new event found. And then it'll mark it on your map, and you can go into the designated area that it shows, and from there, you can participate in the event. And the events don't just happen once and then disappear and never happen again. They cycle through a rotation. And some of them are either just participate in the event once and then it's done and you're rewarded, or they are events that link to the next event, that link to the next one as like an ongoing instance, which then rewards you with a treasure chest. And that treasure chest, when you open it, whatever you find in it, that's in there specifically for your character. So you're not opening a community chest that everybody's grabbing things up before you have a chance to take, a piece of armor or a weapon. It actually, whatever's in there will stay in there until you take everything, because it's all in there for you. Which is one of the big things of the game. There is nothing in the game where you have to wait for other players to take it and then for it to respawn in order for you to do it. So in quests where you're picking up items and taking them to people, when you see it on the ground, what you're seeing is your item, so you can grab and pick it up. If other people pick it up, it has no consequence. Same with gathering minerals, materials. You look like you've been wanting to say something. You got some look on your face.
Not at all.
Okay. Why do you have some weird look on your face?
I don't know why.
Change your face right now.
Change it.
Change it.
Completely. This.
Face off.
Yes, Face Off. Find Nicolas Cage or John Travolta.
Does it have to be their faces?
Well,
Yes.
they're the ones in Face Off.
Mm.
So you got to choose one.
I refuse to acknowledge that movie, so I'll just burn it off.
All right, fair enough. Or you can cut your own face off and nail it to the wall like the Joker did.
This ain't that show right now.
Well, fine. So which I thought was pretty cool. Like, there was actually one event that Brett saw me participate in. It starts by defending this village from a bunch of enemies, and then once you defend them, this scholar that is also there and helping defend the village wants to go investigate why they're all of a sudden invading the town. So you follow him, he finds this pillar, you destroy this pillar, it opens up all these portals, all these enemies come out, you're trying to kill them and close the portals, while this other guy is trying to do this ritual, and then once you destroy all the enemies and the portals, he breaks from the ritual and then breaks into a huge fight. And as many people as are in the area that want to participate in it can participate in it. So you can have like 15 people running around murdering things and participating in this event, and it has no consequence on how much experience you earn per monster. It has no consequence on your items that you earn. It has no consequence on anything in that game as far as your participation goes. So you don't lose out on things based on more people being there. It doesn't decrease the experience or anything. It just essentially makes it easier, makes the thing end faster, and then you get the same reward you would whether it was 10 people or 3 people. Which I thought was kind of cool. So like it's basically logging in and finding stuff to do while you're running around the map. And as you're running around the map and you're discovering areas, that's also rewarding you with experience. So if you find a town, all of a sudden it'll say, oh, you discovered this town, here's towards your percentage of just seeing everything in this area, and then it rewards you with experience. Mining ores rewards you with experience. Making things for your craft rewards you with experience. Everything you do essentially helps level you up, and you're constantly getting stuff where you're progressing in the game. So if you're not fighting stuff and you discover they have these like peaks that you can take a look at. I don't know if you remember the eagle eye things from Assassin's Creed, where you discover a high point. When you get there, it pans around and then gives you an achievement. Well, this does the same thing. It pans around and it gives you experience. And they're actual things that you have to find how you get to them. It's not like a little peak that you just walk up some steps and get it. Like there's one in this town, but it's behind this wall, so you have to go up the steps to the barrier of the town, hop over the wall, and then climb this mountain, and there it is. Like there are actually ones that you have to explore and platform to find, which I thought was interesting. So there's nothing in the game that is forcing people to try to like push you out of the way to get an item, because the items apply for everyone. Everyone actually is essentially working as a team. I mean, I've been in those instances where a lot of crazy shit's going on, and I'll die in the middle of it because I get hit with some huge attack, and 3 random dudes will come up and help revive me, and then keep on going. Like it's not. It doesn't. It never seems like it's like an every man for themselves type of instance in that stuff where people are just trying to kill things to get loot. Like they're actually helping other people and all that other stuff. One of the cool things it also does, though, is since everything is a high population, every server is like a lot of people on. If there's no way for you to get into the main server for the town, it puts you in a backup server and has you queued up to enter the main server, so you can still play and gain levels and everything applies. It's just kind of like you're in an alternate universe of that town until it queues you up for the main one. And then it'll pop up with a message saying, like, you are now ready to enter the main town. Would you like to do that? Or would you like to go to the back of the line again because you're in the middle of something? So there's nothing like Star Wars where it's like, oh, the server's full. Sit here for 45 minutes, and then you might get in.
It's not really like that anymore.
No, it's not like that anymore at all. But overall, I'm actually really impressed with a lot of the new stuff that they do in the game. I find everything pretty fun.
Alright, I just saw the title of the episode.
Oh, yes. One of the last cool things that I want to bring up is with weapons. When you equip a style of weapon to your character, the first 4 blocks of your hotkey bar are the attacks for that weapon, but you only have access to the first attack. By using that first attack, you actually bring a percentage bar up for the second attack to unlock it. And then once you unlock it, you can use it per its cooldown. And then from there, you'll work on the third move, the third move, the fourth move. Was it 5 moves? It was 4 on the first half? Okay. And then whatever you equip in your offhand as your offhand weapon, that will then fill up the second half of the bar, and you'll unlock those attacks as you play. And then once you unlock them for that specific weapon type, if you switch to a different weapon type and then switch back, they'll remain unlocked. So you're unlocking these attacks as you go on, and then you'll earn skill points by participating in these events and leveling up, which you can use to actually purchase skills pertaining to your level. So like with the engineer, I purchased the ability to make turrets. So now I can make a sniper turret, a healing turret, a flame turret, and I can equip grenades and launch them around at people. I can drop mines on the ground now, like a bunch of stuff. It's actually really cool. I thought it was pretty interesting. So figured I'd get that first hands-on impressions out of the way before we do other crap. So, alright. So I guess it's news time. So, let me pull all that up. What the hell is this? Oh, screw you, Bubble Safari.
It's not as good as Slingo.
No, it's not as good as... Did you start playing Slingo?
Yeah.
I thought you were done with Facebook games.
I didn't know you had Slingo.
Oh. Well, alright. Well, what have you been playing while I pull up news?
Slingo?
That's all you've been playing?
No, I beat Fall Cybertron.
What did you think of the ending?
I love that.
That last mission's pretty badass,
Yeah,
and that
it flows so seamlessly too. You're like, oh, you're Jetfire.
Fuck you.
What?
Oh, this guy.
What?
I saw it.
Yeah. What?
liking probably the post to the podcast.
Yeah.
Yep. Because
You
hey,
son of a
he's a
wonderful
team
person.
player. He's a supporter.
Anyway, the ending of Fall Cybertron, the last mission was ridiculously awesome.
Hmm.
And there are so many homages and nods to G1. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They pull scenes right out of the animated movie.
Yeah. The thing between Megatron and Starscream is amazing.
Yeah. That and I also literally laughed out loud when one of the Dinobots is walking over the Insecticon on the door. He's like, "Excuse me."
Oh yeah.
They pulled that right out of the movie.
Yeah. As soon as that door came crumbling down, I'm like, he better do it. Yes, he did it. Yes, this is amazing. Oh, they pulled out so much stuff. It was pretty awesome.
And then I bought Darksiders 2, which I'm going to have to drop it off at your house tomorrow because I was not expecting to be at work till now. So I was expecting to get off earlier and go home and bring you your copy.
Pizza cutter.
Yeah, it's in the if you go to the sink, and you know how we have those pull-out drawers, one to the left, one to the right. It's the one to the right. There should be a
And
pizza
now
cutter.
everyone knows where your pizza cutter is.
Yep, everyone does. So if
beef and eat it like a burrito.
so if any of you
Philly
Oh.
cheesesteak and roll it up.
if any of you on the internet ever come over my house and you need to cut up a pizza, you know exactly where my pizza cutter
I
is.
represent the internet, and we will be over here
Bring
shortly.
cheesesteak.
We will be over here shortly. All right, first bit of news that I want to open up with. Actually, it's going to be two articles that we're going to use as one thing. It's for Borderlands 2, which is what we'll be highlighting later tonight. Gearbox has essentially announced, one, how many DLC packs we can expect for Borderlands 2 post-release, a season pass, and the release date for the Necromancer. Necromancer will be out October 16th. It is a 5th class that was announced, I believe, at E3 or at Comic-Con, and was promised to be a post-release character that everybody would get to play as. Recently, alpha footage has shown of the early work of the character, and now the official release date is out because they've said they are actually ahead of schedule. The Necromancer will be free to all people, all gamers who pre-order the game. If you do not pre-order the game, if you pick it up post-release, she will be $10 for a new character.
You know what? I'm okay with that. Because I'm not against there being an incentive for people to buying your product early or supporting it full price, not buying it used.
Yeah.
I am 100% okay with that.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like the multiplayer. That bugs me a little bit. But if it's like a character, that's fine. Because you know what? It's an incentive for people to buy the game new.
Yeah.
So that I'm 100% okay with.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Screw you.
talking about
You're okay with it too.
we're talking about the Necromancer, that 5th job class they're
Oh,
adding
I
to
didn't
Borderlands.
pre-order it, so I'm going to get it anyway.
Yeah. So it's going to be free for pre-orders. It's coming out October 16th. It'll be $10 for those who don't. I know.
Yeah, I read that. I mean, you have the choice to pre-order it. I mean,
Yeah.
even if you don't pick up the game like day one at a GameStop or something, you will still get the pre-order bonus.
Yeah,
So-
because most places, like Best Buy, will get those copies with that in it new anyway. So even if you buy it new, you'll still pretty much get it.
Yeah, so I just don't like how the character looks. Is my thing.
Oh, the look of the character.
Yeah, I don't really like how it looks, but it sounds like an interesting class.
Yeah, I mean, according to the article on Kotaku, Gearbox explained the skill trees, distinguishing the two contrasting modes. One lets skilled players stack abilities in combination with her robot companion, and the other one helps less skilled players with automated assists. The Best Friends Forever skill tree, what they call a noobish-friendly skill tree, lets players who aren't great at first-person shooters be of some assistance in cooperative play. The BFF tree sacrifices damage for aim assists. So a missed shot can reflect and hit an enemy 50% of the time. Death Trap, which is the Necromancer's robot, will be more automated, seeking out enemies to deal area of effect damage as well as status effect damage on enemies. On the BFF mode, Borderlands 2 handles prioritizing of targets rather than asking you to do so. But if you want to push the Necromancer and make her the more powerful form as far as the talent trees go, the other one is the Overlord class tree, which lets you stack abilities using a skill called Anarchy for ultimate damage. This skill lets you calculate and plan hits based on your own strategizing. Stacking the Necromancer's abilities can even involve imbuing Death Trap with fire damage if you've got the right elemental weapon equipped and decide to include him in your stacked hits. You can invest in skill points in this tree to specify that a certain sequence of hits will give you bonus damage on a certain numbered hit. If you're airborne, when you strike with a critical hit, the Necromancer gets additional stacks of Anarchy for potential damage. And and also that the model for the Necromancer is actually unfinished. They're still working on, is finishing. But they're working on polishing her skills. So how she looks is finalized. The other thing that was announced is DLC. There's going to be 4 post-release campaigns released for Borderlands 2. Each $10 a piece, or you can buy the season pass for $30, essentially getting one of them for free. And they're all announced as being in relative size to that of the General Knox DLC. All 4 of them are going to be that big in scale as far as to how much of what you're getting from the download. There's no further details other than that. Besides, $30 pass, free campaign if you buy the season pass, $10 a piece if you don't, and they'll be spread throughout. No announcement on the first release of DLC. My guess is probably either around the holiday season, and if not that, probably beginning of the year.
Go back up to that picture we were looking at.
This one?
Yeah, I mean that looks like the hunter from the first game.
It is.
Yeah.
All the characters from the first game will be in there. They're just not playable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe the DLC might have something to do with those characters too.
As far as I know, they're already in the main game. Like they're already in Borderlands 2. They're in various missions to help you along in the story quest.
So, if I can't play as Mordecai, I believe was his name, can I upload my bird? I like my money.
No, I don't think anyone uses a bird.
Oh, that stinks.
Because they're all 4 brand new classes. They're not the same classes, so. All right. In other related Gearbox news, Brothers in Arms is a long-running series for Gearbox. It actually started well before Borderlands, and it was more of a serious World War II focused game, or in various timelines. And their most recent game that they've been working on is Furious 4, which was supposed to be a 4-player co-op game that was actually lighter in tone. A lot of people compared it to Inglourious Bastards. It was going to be like a video game version of that, except more action than talking. But the game now has actually changed and is going to be something completely different.
As long as it has the bear Jew in it, I'm okay.
According to Gearbox, during the development cycle, they had made so many changes to the mechanics of the game that it was no longer what they showed at previous E3s and conventions. So they felt it was only right that they are now changing the name of the game, and also that the game is still it's still in the works. A lot of people thought that Furious 4 was canceled. It's not canceled. It's just been reshaped into something completely different. And a lot of people expect further details on what the game is, what it's going to be called, when we can expect a release in September, later this month. I think the 13th, because Gearbox is going to be having some sort of like announcement or some sort of conference or something to announce something big. And a lot of people expect that this is what it's going to be. It's going to be the next evolution of this. Has anyone ever played Brothers in Arms? Any of them?
I didn't get to play Brothers in Arms.
Okay.
I played it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's another first-person shooter
Mm-hmm.
to me.
That's what it looked like to me. So I had really.
So I'd be interested to see how different they changed it. You know, it might be interesting.
Yeah, the part that interests me, because the previous ones weren't really co-op games, this one is. That's what kind of intrigues me as far as the 4-player co-op. So I thought it was kind of neat that they've worked on this so much that they've decided to kind of take it in a different direction, call it something else. Makes a lot more sense than fucking THQ looking at the expansion for Saints Row the Third, going, "Oh wow, what could you do if we made this just its own game? Oh great, let's turn it into Saints Row 4." But we're already working on Saints Row 4. Ah, fuck you. Just do that. Oh, okay. In the category of what I like to call why.
Gotta milk that sucker dry. That's why.
Square Enix has announced their latest Final Fantasy game, and it is another Final Fantasy 13 game entitled Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. Apparently it makes major changes to the series formula. It ends the trilogy. According to Kotaku, the article reads, Final Fantasy 13 heroine Lightning will be back in a new game. Square Enix announced today, which was not actually today. I forget when it was yesterday.
August 31st.
Yeah, it was August 31st. There we go. Friday. Whichever. That day. This one is going to be a very different Final Fantasy. Series director Motomu Toriyama began a presentation in Tokyo by showing an image of a rose, saying roses have many meanings. Oh boy, I can't wait to continue reading this. He then said this game is a conclusion of Lightning's saga, thank God. Toriyama said Lightning will make her comeback, returning as a stronger character than she was in the first two games, Final Fantasy 13 and Final Fantasy 13-2. Lightning is going to face her final battle, so he asked the character designer to convey the power in her eyes. It's the end of her trilogy of games. From the start, Toriyama described features little seen in Japan's renowned role-playing game series. The game will offer players a lot of ways to customize their version of Lightning. Her outfits will be about more than just aesthetics. They will affect her abilities. Character control will be more dynamic. She will be able to hang off ledges, pull herself up, jump, and duck behind corners. You'll be able to move around in a battle. First, they said, for the series. During the presentation, we got to look at what might be the first screens of the new game. It was just concept pieces. They also saw concept art that begins to illustrate how different the game is from a standard FF game. The world of Lightning Returns runs in real time. When the game begins, the world called Nobis Partis is 13 days away from the end. She has 13 days and 13 nights to save humanity. The game runs on a doomsday clock, like Majora's Mask.
Never been done before.
Well, I like that game, so I'm okay with it.
I didn't like it.
The game was awesome.
I agree.
What are you talking about?
Majora's Mask.
That's never happened. This is the first game.
No. I'm not. We're not talking about this. I'm sure this is going to be not that great, but I'm talking about Majora's Mask, which is a good game.
But they copied off of this game.
Yeah, this game came first. This game was not out yet.
This game
It was the
came
first
first, but this never came out yet.
Anyway,
Money, please.
Majora's Mask is not a bad game.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I do.
I
I was a
don't.
big fan.
I didn't like it. I didn't like that.
Tim and I will just play it.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'll
It's
play it
perfectly
because
fine.
I'm
Better than
a
Wind
sucker
Waker.
for this game. And let me just go ahead and say, at least they didn't go with the cliche of lightning strikes back.
Lightning
Jesus.
strikes twice this summer. Look around your world, pretty big.
Wait, was I the only one to think of that?
All I'm gonna say is third time's a charm.
Yeah, because the first one was shit. The second one is okay.
It took 35 hours. That game was pretty good. Actually, it's a shame because I actually did that, and the game's not bad.
Yeah.
That far in.
The second one is okay.
Yeah, second one's alright. I still have it. I plan on beating it.
Yeah.
Oh, the Pokemans.
I think the battle system
You
is
can put a hat on a cat.
yeah. The battle system is improved.
Speaking of animals with hats, in Persona 4, I have a persona that's a monkey with a hat, and he has a book.
Did you give him that hat and that book?
Does the book have a hat?
No, I know.
Moving on.
He was made with it. It was awesome.
He was made with it.
And then when I summon him, he comes out. He lifts the book above his head and starts like jumping around. It's
so
awesome.
did you create him, or was he?
Yes.
Okay, so then you created.
Yeah, I
him.
created him. I had to fuse other personas.
Okay,
And then when I saw there was a monkey with a hat, I was like, I'm sold.
fair enough.
Do any of your characters actually have that persona equipped?
Yeah, my main character.
Good.
All right, as the article continues, as we go back into this bullshit, the whole game runs on a time of day system with a monorail that moves through it on schedule, like everything else in the world.
Oh, so we're in Nazi Germany.
Yeah, you can get stuck. You can get stuck in one region, waiting for the monorail to take you to another island. The game world touches on 3 themes: gothic, mechanical, and fantasy. The game will be out in 2013 on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Lots of concept art, blah 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 blah. Hey, there's the train.
So it's like they took Majora's Mask and Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass and all they're copying off each other.
All right, boy, buy this. Let me know how it is.
And Final Fantasy X.
I was about to say 10-2 with the costume battle system.
As a Final Fantasy character, I actually think Lightning is not that bad. So I can understand.
I think she's stupid.
I can understand I'm wanting to keep her around, but
Not for 3.
Compared to some other female Final Fantasy characters, she's pretty
I'm
decent.
talking
Yeah,
about,
but these female Final Fantasy characters weren't the main character, so
No.
she's stupid.
At the same, like, there was very few characters in the 13 series that were a better choice for main character anyway, besides like
would you
Zaz.
rather have Snow be the main character, Brett?
Yes.
That's terrible.
So is Lightning.
Not as bad as
You
Snow.
know what? I agree with this man.
No, not as bad as Snow.
See, and the boy hates snow.
He really does.
So
It's
so-
inside.
it-
It's over.
Is it the skull cap or the trench coat?
It's because he's so white.
Goddamn white people.
It's a shameful fact.
Good thing Tara's a better female protagonist.
I agree. I didn't like Terra, but she was better than Lightning.
I don't know. I can't get excited when.
Hey, if that game's $15 at Best Buy, like 13.2 was, I'll probably pick it up and try it.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I won't be able to have Choo Choo with me.
Have what?
That was the name of one of the monsters that you can get, and it's just this little ball of energy that just runs up.
Gotta get that.
I had a robot named Sir Klang, and he was awesome.
Oh, you need to get the Choo.
He should be the main character for 13.
Sir Klang, I think you should.
Sir Clang.
Yeah, I just like how the day that they announced Final Fantasy 13, they announced Versus 13, and yet 13.2 and 13.3 will be out before Versus 13.
That game's
Just wait till 13.4 comes out.
Well, but this is the end. This is the end of the Lightning trilogy.
Well, then Hope is going to get a trilogy.
What I don't get
13.
is you have all these people clamoring for a remake of Final Fantasy VII, but this is what you get.
13.
Their fucking remake was that goddamn movie, and then Dirge of Cerberus.
So
Those were their fucking remakes.
don't
It,
talk about Dirge.
Don't forget Crisis Core.
I tried to, but now you made me remember it.
Well,
That game
it's
wasn't
I
terrible.
totally beat that game.
That game
it's
wasn't terrible.
it's sold more copies than 13.2.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've actually
PSP.
Yeah,
game
that's-
sucks.
I've actually looked at it here. You know what? I'll pull it up. All thanks to VGCharts.com. This is pretty great.
Anyway, I'm trying to think of how much money Square would make if they just that game's pretty good. If they just re-released Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, like updated graphics and everything?
Yeah, like completely redid it from the ground up.
No, why are you doing this to me,
Yeah, it
VG
would sell
Charts?
11 billion copies.
Shut up.
You know what?
Stop
Probably
with
would.
these
I'd buy a
stupid
copy.
things.
Like fix some of the editing, like fix some of the dialogue, update the graphics, throw a couple more bosses in there, and you know what? I think it would sell like hotcakes.
So here you go.
McDonald's hotcakes.
Top selling Final Fantasy of all time, obviously, is Final Fantasy VII. It has globally sold 9 million copies, almost 10 million.
Excuse me.
In retrospect, Final Fantasy 13 Globally on the PlayStation 3 sold 4.8 million. 361 is like way down here at 1.9 million. So overall, it sold 6 million copies, combined platforms, which does technically put it in fourth overall, but that's because it's multi-platform.
Yeah, well, there's Final Fantasy 12. Ooh.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 13-2 is 14th. It only sold 2 million copies worldwide on PS3. The 360 version, I know, is like way down here.
Well, that's because Japan hates 360.
Yeah.
2.08?
That's the PS3 version.
Oh, Tactics Advance sold more copies.
Yeah.
And that game stunk.
The City of Final Fantasy sold more. Final Fantasy V, there you go. Crisis Core.
Well, the Final Fantasy 5 part's my favorite because that's the NES version, which didn't come out in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to find the 360 version of 13.2. Still trying. Still going. Oh, there it is. 38th. Hasn't even sold 1 million copies
It's trying.
on Xbox 360.
Wow. Look at that. One of the Final Fantasy 11 expansion packs sold more than...
Final Fantasy 14 sold more. And that has bombed so bad that they are completely rebooting the entire game. So I don't know.
They tried.
So I guess sales can't be the reason why they're making a third one.
No, just a giant FU.
It's overall it's a mediocre entry into the series. So whatever, it's dumb.
Anyway, Dead Island Riptide puts the 4 survivors through even more hell.
Yes.
About it.
Dead Island's getting a sequel, which will actually tie directly into the first Dead Island, especially if you have completed the game. The article reads that the survivors thought they were safe, but, zombie game. A powerful monsoon strikes just as the 4 heroes of Dead Island think they're safe, destroying their rescue vessel and stranding them on the island resort once again.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
What terrible luck!
You know what? I like that.
Did they touch any kids in the first game?
Not that I've
For some
seen.
reason, God is like, no. Let's keep them on the island a little bit more.
Though
So you can get off.
All right. So they survived round 1. Let's see if they can survive round 2.
But don't expect the same lush locations seen in the first one. The island will actually be transformed by the monsoon. Large areas have been destroyed, streets are flooded, and some of the new screenshots they've shown, characters will find themselves on a boat surrounded by water-bound undead. Nowhere is safe for the main characters, which makes it fortunate that a new character with a mysterious new skill set is joining the crew.
Jimbo.
Yeah, that is sure to
Of
help
course.
during the game's new hub defense missions, which task players to set up defenses in advance of oncoming hordes.
Tower defense.
Yeah. Otherwise, it sounds like a lot of the same game, but these added changes. So who played Dead Island? I know I played Dead Island. You played Dead
I
Island.
still play it
I saw someone play it.
with the man with no name.
Ah. Okay.
And Kebe.
Okay.
We played it a couple times.
Okay.
I was interested in it for some reason. I just never got around to playing it.
I actually thought it was really cool.
It's a neat game.
It's one of the few that does provide like more scares than Resident Evil does.
Yeah.
Oh, but see, I got the Walking Dead game, so that's what I've been playing.
Well, I mean,
That
you
provides
can't.
more laughs than Resident Evil.
Huh?
That was just,
Oh.
It provides more laughs.
Yeah, I was gonna say you really can't compare the Walking Dead game to this.
Oh no, well I just get my zombie fix from that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't even just. It's just to me, it's like it doesn't matter about the.
By the way, episode 3 was awesome. Bye.
Like with Dead Island, it's just something that offered something new. I mean, a lot of people expected Dead Island, the way it looked, to be more like open world Left 4 Dead, but it's actually not. There's a lot of RPG elements to your character.
Is it
Weapon,
$20 yet?
huh?
Is it $20?
I don't
yet?
know. Weapons deteriorate which is pretty cool. Let's see, what does the first one? Because I mean, with the fact that the progression of your character ties into the sequel, I think that actually might be a good incentive to play the first one before it comes out.
Yeah. The first one's a pretty long game too.
So currently, the Game of the Year edition is $30.
I wonder what makes that so good.
There's all the DLCs included.
Yeah, I will scroll down so you can. You get the 3 DLC packs: the Bloodpath Arena, the Rider White episode, and the Ripper Weapon Blueprint.
No, that might be worth it after after Borderlands 2.
Yeah, because you'll have plenty of time. I don't know, the game. Yeah, the game comes out next year, so that'll give you plenty of time to mess around with it if you're not planning to get a lot of fall titles.
I don't even know what's coming out, really. Besides,
Ass Creed 3.
how are we getting that? I think
Blacker Ops,
I will not be getting Blacker Ops.
Halo Quattro.
Nope.
Oh man. How about NBA Live 13 for a $20 digital download?
I do like that idea.
As I was about to ask. All right, so we won't go through the entire article, but essentially, a rumor has been brewing that NBA Live, which is making its return this year with NBA Live 13, will not be an on-disc game. It will be a $20 digital download in its first reincarnation. It's not confirmed. It's currently a rumor. EA has not announced. EA has only been coming out and saying we have a big announcement upcoming for NBA Live. So when anyone actually questions them about this, they're not forthcoming with information. But a lot of rumors and speculation have been coming up to the surface based on comments that were made by EA Sports representatives at the GameStop Summit for store managers. That this will be a digital download. So, what do you guys think of this idea possibly coming to fruition?
I don't play many basketball games, but I still think it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from what I hear, people seem to enjoy the 2K series.
Yeah.
I prefer the 2K series more than that.
What I'm thinking, this could be a good way to sell some games because it's only going to be $20.
Would this intrigue you enough to try it out and see how it is?
Yeah, it's $20. So, game pisses me off, it's $20. I want $20 instead of like 60. So.
Don't worry, you'll get to trade it in eventually.
Oh yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
God
traded
damn
it
it.
for Final Fantasy 13.
13 cubed.
13.
Oh no. But
13,400.
But yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It's not something I'm really into. I haven't played a basketball game in quite a while, but I figured NBA Live coming back.
It's no NBA Jam.
No, it's no NBA Jam.
Boom shakalaka.
But it's a decent thing, and if it shows potential and it does get decent sales, maybe then they'll be able to do something and move forward with it next year because EA's obviously isn't making baseball games. And then our last news story, another Florida used game retailer is trying to sell their business on eBay because the first one went so well, and by that
Popular thing to do now.
I mean, I don't know why it's popular because the first attempt didn't work. The guy that tried to sell his pretty much his entire life on eBay, like all his homes, his vehicles, his businesses. No, unfortunately, you don't get his wife.
Well, first question is
or you didn't. I don't know. I haven't seen what she looks like. But he tried to sell everything for $3.5 million. It didn't. Nothing happened. So now the two owners of a small franchise called Gamers HQ, located in Bellevue, Inverness, and Gainesville, Florida, are trying to sell it for $2.6 million. They state that all three locations are profitable and have been since day one. Both owners will stay on as consultants for 3 months after purchase, with an option to help open a fourth location that is already in the planning stages. Additionally, 10% of the listing's final sale price will be donated to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, which is actually apparently one of the reasons why the business succeeds, because it gives back to a lot of charities for children in the local area.
To move them out of Florida.
Yeah. The chains reportedly make $400,000 a year, and the prospective new owners can expect to earn a monthly take-home income of around $4,000, which is about $50,000 a year. But obviously, if you're someone that has a $2.6 million to buy this, you're probably making more than $50,000 a year. So, I don't know what this sudden interest has been in trying to do this.
It's the popular thing to do in Florida. Next to being old and surviving hurricanes.
And Jew. Being a Jew. There's a lot of them down there. It's ungodly.
Oh, and the Cuban population.
Oh, well,
There's a lot of strip clubs.
yes, especially in Tampa.
And Coke.
All the strip clubs.
So much so that they were advertising that if you came to their clubs with your WrestleMania ticket, that you got in for free.
That is
True, they were. At least there was one doing that.
Yeah. So, hey, that's good, right? That's good, I guess.
Because after seeing a bunch of men in a ring, that's what I want to see.
You want to see titties?
Tits.
There are plenty of man memories to look at
Yeah.
for WrestleMania.
Our last thing to discuss: who watched the Metal Gear Ground Zeroes 11-minute gameplay video?
I did.
All right, you did.
I did not.
You did. We watched it here.
I was sleeping.
Did you watch it at all? What did you guys think? I open the floor to you.
Oh my God, Metal Gear.
The graphic engine looks really nice, but other than that, I don't.
I don't care.
Oh, it's mine. You go ahead. That's what they're for.
So,
I mean, the graphics look really great, but I don't really care about Metal Gear. But the graphics look good.
What he said, and I said, yeah, even though they showed us, it'll take about 3 to 4 years before I even sniff a disc.
Good work.
He's right. It could be Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah. I want
Just
to.
wait for Final Fantasy 13, 14.
I actually want to see more gameplay before I judge. I've never been too hardcore into Metal Gear. Like, I played 4, and that was probably the most time I spent on a Metal Gear, and it was okay. But but I like the concept of an open world Metal Gear game, and I want to see more gameplay of how they're executing that. And
Well, 'cause I beat Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation. I beat Metal Gear Solid 2 for PS2. So all this trailer did was show the graphical engine. It didn't really do anything else.
yeah.
So that's why I'm saying the graphics look great, but I don't really care that much about.
Yeah,
Metal
that
Gear.
engine is really impressive, and the fact that when they announced that engine and showed it off, they were saying that it is like that. That's on current gen systems. They were running it through a PC, but the PC was spec'd with current gen hardware, so that's capable on current gen. But it's also built to make games for the next gen consoles too, so it can look better than that. That's just the best that it looks like on current hardware, which scares the shit out of me because it looks really phenomenal.
yeah.
Like the weather effects, the lighting effects, all look awesome. There's not much we can say about the game because they showed like a split second of gameplay. Like he crawled and walked, and that was it.
He got captured.
Yes. Well, no, he didn't get captured. He got spotted because the whole point of Ground Zeroes is what is the gameplay options that opens up for you when you're spotted. Because it's no longer a game of being spotted and trying to run away so they don't see you anymore. You actually have things that open up for you that you can use to get yourself to safety, like by calling in backup or various other things.
Pelvic thrusting in the general direction.
Pelvic thrusting, I'm sure. But as far as the graphic engine goes, I think it looks amazing. But I want to see more gameplay. Like, what if to convince you? What would they have to show in gameplay to convince you that maybe this is worth purchasing?
Penetration. Full on. If you really want to test that engine, snake on snake action.
Yeah. Just a couple of dicks.
Just a couple of, that's what they should call the game.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid, a couple of dicks.
I don't know. I mean, I've never been really into the metal.
I mean, I
played
don't.
Snake Eater. That was a long
I don't think there's anything they could do to sell the game to me. I mean, as I said, the graphical engine looks nice, but I don't really care about the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, after Metal Gear Solid 2, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I really care. So there's nothing they can do. I was like, whatever.
And trust me, they'll try.
I mean, I'm sure
They've done a good job trying.
I did play 3 for a little bit. The game seemed alright. But I'm not that big into Metal Gear anymore. Yeah,
I heard you play Castlevania.
I do. Give me more of those, please.
Well, you will. You'll get one on 3DS and one on consoles.
So what more?
Anybody else? Anything? Is there anything they can do to get you to?
Do do
No,
do
I
do
don't
do
give a
do 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 do
They never
do.
interested me. The only one I really played through was when I borrowed the GameCube version. The remakes. I don't care.
Okay. What about you, Tim?
Nah, I don't really have a special interest in Metal Gear either.
Okay.
Which means he's buying it. He's buying the game.
Day one.
Your part to review it, Tim.
Well, as far as stealth games go, I've always liked Splinter Cell more anyway. Splinter Cell has always been the superior stealth game to me.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why they're trying to hook you, because they gave him, goggles.
He's had goggles before.
But
I think Gears of War is the best stealth genre.
Gears of War.
Yeah, just cover yourself in enough blood. You're undetected.
I need to talk to you outside, Howard.
Mothers. Huh?
I need to talk to Howard outside. Can you meet me up the side of my car? I need.
Only if there's cake.
Oh yeah, there'll be some cake, but I just need to get it out of my trunk.
Hopefully it's not shaped like
It looks like a bat. It's a bat that says cake on it.
It'll be delicious. You'll love it.
You know what? I'm okay with that.
You'll lose some teeth.
Oh man.
It's worth the risk.
So who wants to talk? Who wants to talk Borderlands 2?
It's a game.
All I'm saying is I'm going to be an assassin, and that's all that matters to me right now.
Nobody wants to do a little more. Talk a little more than that.
Hey, if you like Borderlands 1, I think you'll love 2.
Hey, I think it's like Borderlands 1, but there's more guns in it.
I know there's you can be an assassin, a
A
gunzerker.
that is what I intend to be.
Sirens are back, and I don't know and soldiers back, right?
Soldier and
Yes.
Siren are back.
So, okay,
And
so-
Assassin and Gunzerker are the new ones.
Yeah.
So I don't. All I'm saying is I saw a 10-minute video on Assassin, and that's all I needed to see.
Now, what does the assassin provide that is different from like the hunter?
Well, his action skill mainly, which I think he sends out like a clone of himself, and while that clone is distracting enemies, he can just run up and slash someone with his sword, or you can actually decide to be long range with him. Apparently, he's long range. I'm sure one of his trees enhances his action skill, and I'm sure his other tree is probably going to be like for a different type of gun.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe pistol, because that's, I believe, what Mordecai uses: sniper rifles and pistols.
Yeah, I think the assassin might use machine pistols.
So that's what the assassin does. I'm just really pumped for his action skill because I want to stab you with a sword.
I also like that they're offering more customization options to the characters themselves besides
yeah.
color.
Yeah, that which is always a bonus. So you can actually look a little different.
You can
besides-
make your character looks unique.
Hey, look, there's another me, but his color scheme is slightly different.
Yeah,
I bet he has a bird too.
I will miss the original like Berserker class where he just starts screaming and punching things. That was so gratifying. Just
I really enjoyed Mordecai because I just throw the bird out and the bird would give us all lots and lots of money.
Yeah, it would. Just watching things die instantly.
I didn't even do anything. I just sent the bird out. He handled business.
I mean, obviously the graphics are improved a bit. Like,
Yeah, they're improved a bit. I mean, it still mostly looks the same. It's just I've just got. If you like Borderlands 1, I'm sure you'll love 2.
and they're making a bigger effort to make the guns more unique. So it's not like this gun is exactly the same except it shoots ice instead of fire.
Yeah, so
So it's an effort to make guns bigger and better. We've already talked about they're already going to support it with 4 full expansion packs past the release of the game. You're going to get a 5th job class, more customization options, more to do with your traits. I know the soldier now will have various kinds of turrets that they can just throw out and everything. I mean, it's not just the one general turret that they have. They're going to be able to do it.
Nuclear explosions.
Yeah, like they're going to be able to shoot a lot of different things, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you said you want to go for the Gunzerker.
It's because he's a midget.
And that's the only reason. Have you done any other
Boy
research on the
loves
Gunzerker?
midgets.
Huh?
Believe me, I've seen him.
Have you looked into anything else for the
Nah, I
Gunzerker?
really haven't.
Nope.
Because I was the berserker in the last game too, so I did enjoy punching
I'm
things.
just gonna stick with
So-
Siren.
So
Okay.
I figured, it's a gunzerker.
I can go with Soldier. I got no problem with that because I was a berserker for a lot of the game. But I'm very interested. Did you ever play the first Borderlands, Matt? Fair enough. You sound like you're all about the second one.
Yeah, nah. I'll watch you guys play.
Better enjoy it.
I will. I don't think so.
I do like that the main villain of the game is called Handsome Jack.
Well, he is handsome.
Yeah, and apparently he's constantly in communication with you, taunting you and insulting you throughout the game.
So he's Vince McMahon.
Yes, he is Vince McMahon. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Bury the segment.
Oh, and the other thing about the Gunzerker is they can dual wield any combination of guns. Does not matter. So they can dual wield rocket launchers.
Finding ammo for those is going to be hard.
But the rocket launchers were so satisfying in that
It
game.
was.
They were so satisfying. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean the main four characters: Salvador, the Gunzerker, the Siren named Maya, Zero is the assassin, and Axton is the commando class character. So, those are the main ones, and they'll all have their various traits and skills and bigger customization, bigger enemies. I've seen a lot of gameplay where they implement a lot of huge, crazy enemies and various other objectives that you have to do. So they are expanding everything, making it bigger and badder and gazillionaire.
And from what I've seen, it just seems like it's a lot like the first one, except better.
Yeah.
So
The first one's great. If you're one of the like 3 people out there that did not experience the first Borderlands,
yes, Matt.
Right here.
So if you're one of the 2 people,
if you're the 2 other people, I honestly recommend playing and experiencing the first one because this one's going to be one of the biggest games of 2012. It's going to be gigantic. I mean, Matt doesn't have to. Matt's not really a shooter guy, so
It's no Green Lantern.
no, it's no TNA Impact.
Thor also great.
Tell us all about it.
No, I'll invite you guys to my house. You can watch me play it. You'll love it.
All right. Well, what review do you guys want to start out with? Because you gentlemen over there, Tim and Brett, are the review guys for this week.
Well, I think Persona 4 can be kind of a quick one.
Go right ahead then.
I mean, basically, if I don't know if anybody's played Persona 4, but they made a fighting game based off the characters and some of the characters from Persona 3, and they had a new story. It's made by, I believe, Arc Systems.
Yes, same people behind Guilty
behind
Gear.
Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue. Similar graphic style. Graphics look fantastic, by the way, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
But what kind of sets it apart from those games is you only have 2 attacks that your character will use. The other 2 attack buttons are your personas. Which is pretty awesome because when you send your persona out, you can still do your own attacks while the persona's attacking. It's got a story mode. The online, I would say, is probably the biggest feature for any fighting game. And the online in this game is just about flawless, at least it's been for me. I'm talking about... I fought someone with a 0-bar connection, and the only part that lagged was the intros. After that, everything played fairly smoothly. So it's one of those fast, paced games. The only issue, I think, as far as the game has, is some of the combos you can do in that game are pretty ridiculous. I was trapped in a corner for a good portion of one of my battles today. Kind of upsetting, but I threw her once and took a good chunk of her health.
The game looks very juggle-friendly.
It is. Because what makes it that way is because you can have your persona attacking while your character's attacking.
Mm-hmm.
So you can juggle them if you got the talent to do that. I'm still working on it, but it's probably one of the better fighting games, I think, because like it's more fast paced, though a little more broken compared to some of the other ones that have been released like recently. And they didn't show any characters in the trailer and then said you had to pay money for them. Always a bonus for me.
That is true.
As far as me, I would recommend it fully. I think you'll get more enjoyment out of it if you're a Persona fan like I am too. I don't know. The rest of you guys played it. Mainly the boy. Mashing that auto combo, boy.
Yeah, I can hit the X button a bunch of times too.
But you didn't use it as effectively as I did.
Because I was actually trying to do other moves. And
So was I.
the game.
Trying to do other things with the X button.
Anyway, it seemed like a pretty fun fighting game.
Yeah, and the button configuration actually greatly assists in allowing like noobish fighting game players to play the game and still get some.
Yeah,
enjoyment
that's why
out
they
of it.
actually added the auto combo for
Yeah.
more like, I guess, more of the fans for the Persona series, so they can actually do things without having to really.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
learn the game.
because it is Arc Systems, obviously they built something that they're familiar with. They're familiar with fighting games. But at the same time, the development team also sort of worked on something where they wanted people that were fans of Persona to not grab the game and go, "Oh, what is this? I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable." So
and for the fans of Persona, they do have a story mode that kind of continues Persona 4.
mm-hmm.
So there's that too. And most of the voice actors do return, except for I believe Chie and Teddy. From what I was reading, they are in a union, and for some reason they cannot do this. So they got new voice actors for them.
Fair enough. Well, I do know that the events of this story mode will carry right into Persona 5. That they've actually said that directly. So
Well, see how that goes. I'd like to read more a little bit. I'd like to hear more about Persona 5. But yeah, I mean, fast-paced. It's an Arc Systems fighting game. If you like what they've done before, you may like this. I give it my recommendation, but I'm a huge Persona fan and fighting game fan.
mm-hmm.
And the online is near flawless, at least from what I played. And I've played, I probably played about 60 or 70 matches so far. So
Alright.
I've had no complaints online.
Fair enough.
All right, boy, you can do the last story.
All right.
I'll help you a little bit.
Okay. Good job.
It stinks. Anyway, go,
He
boy.
lies. He loves it.
It's a story, and it's the last one, and there's people in it, and they do things, and there's a story.
There will never be another one.
Not.
Hey, let the boy do this. The game's awesome. Let him talk about it.
All right. Well, the story begins with Zale and company being traversing this little reptid cave type place because they're mercenaries. They're ordered to clean it out, and one of his companions falls and try to save her. He summons this otherworldly being known as the outsider. So he gets his power, and as he progresses through the game, he starts learning more about the outsider and earning its power.
You disgust me.
Pizza Hut's new Loco Pizza. Doritos Locos Pizza. Money, please.
They're within the same chain, aren't they?
Yeah, no, they're all part of the Yum thing.
Thing.
Something to drink. It's real spicy.
That pizza's... While we're talking about food for a minute, that pizza's pretty good.
What do you want?
What do you got in there?
Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper Cherry, and Mango Pepsi.
I'll take the Mountain Dew.
Wait up.
Yeah.
Can I have one too?
Wait up.
No, the Dr. Pepper, if you don't mind. Yeah, I'll grab those. Please, Tim.
Continue, Tim.
I'm sorry.
I had to
Well,
stop because
I bought a Red Baron pizza, and I used Brian's toppings. I put an Italian topping, the garlic powder stuff, and some crushed red peppers.
Was not expecting that.
And the fact that you mixed out spicy nacho Doritos was well worth my time. All right, Tim, back to you.
Continue.
you sure?
There's cheese in here.
No, that's chili cheese dip, and don't you touch that until we're done.
Hey,
You got nothing. You
let
got
him
nothing
do
to
it.
touch it with,
I
but
would cook the pizza in there. I already been into this though.
Jesus
Anyway.
Christ.
You know what? Episode's over.
This show is just dissolved into just me eating on the air. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's a good game. Good night, everybody.
Oh, let the man talk.
I'm sorry.
So basically, Zale,
Now you know how I feel when I do reviews.
I can give. You know what?
Now you know how I feel when I
Don't you tap out. I don't tap out. I finish my reviews. Man up.
I'm the only one that gets interrupted.
I get interrupted.
Oh, get the fuck out of
I
here.
kinda interrupt-
Don't you fucking
I
dare
kind of
give me
interrupt
that.
everybody, but I was trying to be good today.
This game, 'cause I've never played it. I don't really plan on playing it.
You're the only one that gets interrupted. Suck my dick.
Presented.
You're
Whoa!
the only one that gets interrupted by me eating pizza with Doritos on it.
Yep.
So
You're,
you feel
you're the only person
special.
you're the only person that's ever been interrupted that way.
Come on, man.
I'm the root.
Finish what you eat first before you start running that mouth. Jesus. Manners. I'm out of here.
Anyway, Zale and Company, Mercenaries, Cave, Person, Falling,
Power.
Power,
I don't know. Outsider.
Energon Snack.
Yeah, pretty much. Bobby brought up me.
Yeah.
So. Alright.
So after you get the outsider's power, you find out that you can resurrect your allies with it, and go to him.
Alright. So basically what it comes down to is the gameplay works like this. Your character gets 5 lives for some reason during every battle. And as you get knocked down, you come back up, and you can revive your partners as long as you got your gathering ability activated and whatnot. So it makes battles kind of real easy in this game. And during battles, you attack using the analog stick, and the way Zale slashes, it's with his analog stick in whatever direction you're going in.
Yeah, the way you attack more or less is to run at your opponent,
Yes.
and when you meet them, you will then slash.
But fortunately, it just doesn't boil down to you running up and smashing them.
No, it doesn't, or else you're going to die.
Yes. There is a little strategy involved. Soon enough, about a quarter of the game through, you finally give them control to tell your partners what the fuck they should be doing, whether it be casting magic or attacking physically. Unfortunately, there's only like 3 of you that can do that, and Lowell, who's the ladies' man of the group, does both. He does both magic and physical attacks. So as you're on Lazarus, you've discovered that the count who oversees the land isn't actually all that great of a person, as he's may or may have not gotten to his position of power by hook or crook. Obviously by crook, though. To say the least, just end this. The last story has no significant shortcomings apart from a slight lack of animation in their faces at all, because faces are kind of stiff. They do all the arm motions, but they just don't move very well. But that doesn't take away from the game setting or the storing, as it remains within like a safe territory, but. Great characterization and an excellent innovative battle system keep it interesting, and from the very first chapter to the last few minutes. The quality of the localization from the game, they just use the English voice actors, is rather superb, and the combat's obviously great. And,
So the voice acting's better than in Chaos Wars.
I don't think you could do any worse than Chaos Wars.
They got the president's the president of the game company who localized it in Chaos Wars. They got like their son and daughter, the voice characters in that game. Oh, Yuri.
The game itself fits to Mistwalker's pedigree, as Last Odyssey was a great story and great game, I should say. And I thoroughly enjoyed Blue Dragon. I don't know about the rest of you. I know most of you don't. I like Blue Dragon.
Couldn't really get into it.
That'll do it for my review.
Though I do like Last Story. I think the battle system is incredibly awesome.
Yes,
And,
it's a short game. It's like under 30 hours.
It's kind of short.
Took me about 27, I want to say.
But I can really say that I'm having a lot of fun playing it. So
I will say, once you think the game's over, the game's not over.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Yes.
Is the online mode still in the US version?
It is.
It is. I've not done it though.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
Okay. I was just curious. Alright then, I guess that will wrap up this episode here for the Digital Reload. Next week, I know our next preview will be Tekken Tag Tournament 2. You like Tekken Tag Tournament.
As long as it has Tekken.
I don't know if it has Tekken Bowl, but it's got a shit ton of characters. So,
As long as it has the character from the last Tekken Tag.
I don't remember.
He's talking about Kunimitsu.
No, no.
No, unknown.
Yeah, I know.
That one.
Fair enough.
They should have a Bloody Roar character.
Jesus.
I love Bloody Roar. Who doesn't like Bloody Roar?
I don't.
Hey. Okay, you're right.
Bloody Roar was alright, but as the number of installments went up, the quality went down.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think like Bloody Roar 3 was like its peak.
Yeah,
that was the
Bloody
game.
Roar 3 was awesome.
Yeah.
I like Bloody Roar 2 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Bloody Roar 3.
join us next week for Tekken Tag Tournament 2, various news, and
I'll eat some more disgusting shit.
maybe I'll review Madden.
Well, it won't
'Cause
be my pizza.
There's going to be so much to review for Madden, I'm sure.
It's a football game.
Yeah.
You throw balls at people.
You throw balls,
and
you
they
catch
toss
them.
to the score zone.
You play
Yes.
Ray Lewis, and you gotta save Paul Rudd.
There's no
Shitty movies.
There's no fifth down.
It's brotastic.
Protect yourself from AIDS. All right, gentlemen. Good night, and we'll see you next week.
You have no dignity.